All right. Love it. Letting people into the room. Fantastic. Y'all, it's so exciting. We're gonna spend the first 5 minutes just chilling out, but boy, isn't this like screenshot worthy right here? Look at all these incredible leaders from all these amazing different organizations on board right now. Absolutely wonderful. Um, yeah, but so it's so good to see you all. Does anybody want to like chime in with just like your thoughts on like this event we're having today?
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here, super excited to see all these faces that have been working in the area for such a long time, and hear like what we're going to do going forward, because I think there are many opportunities and many places to help out. I'm excited to see what everyone has to say.
I'm also
Yeah,
excited to see all the folks in the room too that have supported our work, that will continue to support our work, especially moving forward with so much really great energy in the reform space. So I'm thrilled to be here.
yeah. In these times, like things are so polarized and solutions are few and far between. It's easy to call out the problem, but I definitely want to thank everyone in this room for having the political courage to really dig in and find solutions that deliver and put in the hard work. You know, even if it is an underdog, like doing the right thing isn't always the easiest thing. And it just means so much to me. Like I'm now hitting my 8-year anniversary of really being deep in this work. And I wouldn't have made it anywhere near this far if it wasn't for all the people who just keep on showing up and demanding that we don't give up and that we try harder and that we do better and that we improve and that we learn. So thank you, all of you.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. It's really cool to see everyone here together. I feel like I've had conversations with almost all of these panelists before. Hope to meet everyone else who I haven't met before, and really cool to see everyone like joining together for a central effort. So thanks to the organizers for getting us all together.
We're all organizers here.
That's right. I'm thrilled that we're uniting in a common movement for better ways to vote, better ways to govern. Excited to hear what everyone has planned, and we want to bring our resources to bear to help support everyone across the country be successful. So thrilled and grateful that you all are here.
Seconded.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Frank Atwood showed up, which is incredible. I wasn't even expecting it. Unfortunately, it's gonna be it's just I don't know. There's a long list of incredible superstars whose faces you don't see right now, but you're going to get to see them later in the breakout rooms, which will be great. We just only had so much time. Speaking of breakout rooms, I actually have a poll I'm going to launch right now. You don't have to take it right now. If you want to wait for a couple speakers, you can close it and then reopen it later. But this is just one of the things we're gonna do kind of the second half is some breakout rooms, and just to, if there are any cool ideas or breakout rooms that we want, it'll be really good to add a couple throughout. So just feel free to fill that out if you want to. Yeah, if anybody wants to in the chat, participants, feel free to throw in, where you're from or what got you interested in showing up. Love it.
Frank Atwood again, and I'm going to mention that what's motivating me is, as a perhaps fanatic libertarian, I've watched us be noise the noise, and I'm hoping that approval voting at least will give us some viability and visibility. And so one of my pitches is approval voting moves us beyond two-party thinking. And I'm hoping that I'm telling people the truth, but look forward to the effort being researched. So thank you.
Yeah. Frank Atwood sent me an email a long time ago I just looked at, where he asked me, like, I've been saying all these things to people about approval voting. Is it true? And I was like, all of it's true. It's all amazing and it's all wonderful.
Oh.
But
thank you, Sass, for assuring me that I haven't been lying all over for all these years, but wonderful.
Yes, well, we've hit the 5-minute mark. Hopefully, most everybody is here. So we're going to have everybody else go to the backstage. Aaron, if you want to help with that, that'd be fantastic. Take everybody back except for me. I'm just going to get going on my little intro, setting expectations, getting going. Yeah, but so, I'm Hayden Sasswood. Many of you know me as Sass. I fill a lot of roles, but today I am the National Volunteer Organizer for the Respect Voters Coalition. Benjamin is going to tell you more about the Respect Voters Coalition in a moment, but first I'm going to set the expectations for what today is about. So this is a national rally for voting method reformers and people who want to strengthen democracy. We have 69 people signed up. How many participants are we at today? We're at 45 in here right now, and that's going to, I think, keep growing, which is super exciting on the call right now. But I also want to thank our financial supporters for attending, as well as those who plan to mostly just listen in and see what we're doing. We're happy to have all of you here, and I hope you get inspired today. Today, we brought together several different organizations that are aligned around good government reform and voting method reform in particular. I just want to give another big thank you to all of them for showing up. That's who you were just seeing. I need to pull up a slide here for y'all. Here we go. So folks are here for many different things today. Star voting, democracy dollars, protecting, strengthening, and expanding the ballot initiative process. But half of the featured organizations are focused specifically on approval voting. There we go, my apologies. So that everybody has a solid context, approval voting is a better way to vote than our current system. With approval voting, instead of only being able to support one candidate when you go to vote, you get to vote for all the candidates you approve of. And then the most approved candidate is elected. This systematically eliminates vote splitting and creates a politics focused on what brings us together instead of what drives us apart. Benjamin is going to talk more about volunteer opportunities with the Respect Voters Coalition for approval voting supporters. In fact, we have 8 speakers lined up today. They are not going to talk at you for an hour. Each speaker will take 2 minutes to tell you who they are, what their organization is doing, and how you can get involved. We'll also send everyone who registered a follow-up email with links to all of the organizations, and we'll also post their sites in the chat as we go, so that way you can join them the instant you're inspired. I'm giving Benjamin 3 minutes because he's the leader of this operation and has a lot of different things to go over, and a little bit of extra time to Sarah as well because she needs to explain what star voting is. Which is another voting method that we support. But by the time we hit the 30-minute mark, I want to transition to breakout rooms. Those will be divided into different types of volunteer opportunities like research, content creation, plus outreach, plus a few miscellaneous things. Everyone will be able to freely switch between different breakout rooms, at which time you can turn on your cameras and mics. Then you'll get to chat and connect with other volunteers who are interested in the same things you are. And together you can build some magic. I'll give a little more detail about that later, but we'll bring everybody back a few minutes before the end of the hour to close out, but I will definitely be sticking around for anyone who wants to hang out and keep chatting. Okay, so the speaker order will be Benjamin Singer, CEO of the Respect Voters Coalition, Nina Taylor, CEO of the Center for Election Science, Sarah Wolk, the Executive Director of the Equal Vote Coalition, Nate Allen, the Executive Director of Utah Approves, Alan Savage, the Executive Director of California Approves, Jed Limke, Founder and Chair of Reform Fargo, DeMarco Davison, the Executive Director of Metropolitan Congregations United St. Louis, and Shantae Duncan, Manager for Democracy Real Estate. I'll be fading in and out as we go. If you have questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. I've asked our speakers to stay active in the chat so they can address organization-specific questions. Note that Arend Castellane of the Equal Vote Coalition is also helping me manage the entire call, so know that you can trust what he says. This whole speaker section right now is being recorded. Pardon me. Although the breakout rooms will not be. we're going to post the recording on the Respect Voters Coalition YouTube channel promptly after we're done. Last note before I go, please fill out the in-call poll either now or after a few speakers. You can close it for now and reopen it later to submit the poll or to submit it if you'd like. If for whatever reason you find it difficult to fill out the poll on your device, I'm about to put a link in the chat that you can use instead. This is going to help me finalize the breakout room so that y'all are interested in participating in. Okay, that's enough out of me. I'm going to hand it over to Benjamin. So Arn, if you want to swap us out, let's do it.
Hi, everyone. Welcome all you saviors of democracy. I'm Benjamin, the CEO and co-founder of both Show Me Integrity here in Missouri and of the National Respect Voters Coalition. I want you to think back to the American Revolution, to the Battle of Saratoga, a turning point in the war when an underdog army facing overwhelming odds won because they were organized, determined, put more boots on the ground, and fought for something bigger than themselves. The British had more money, but the scrappy Americans turned the tide of history because they fought smarter and more strategically together. That's our challenge and opportunity today. The forces of tyranny are better funded, but they don't have the will of the people. They don't have our better ways to vote and govern a democracy. Today is not about arguing online about voting methods. Today is about building a people-powered movement that's coordinated, strategic, and popular. That's when we can win. It's about outnumbering, outsmarting, outlasting, and outworking those who don't share our belief in a better democracy. That's how we won 3 ballot initiatives here in St. Louis and Missouri, including approval voting, open primaries, redistricting, and conflicts of interest. And that's how we're going to help you win across the country. So join the Respect Voters Coalition, join our Slack, join our volunteer-led meetings, operations, and work. Join our research. Help Richard Barton, one of the nation's top academics on open primaries, show the positive effects of an approval voting open primary followed by a top 2 general election. That combo, open primary approval, top 2 general, is our easiest shot at convincing the big funders to support our people's movement to scale approval voting to its first statewide and federal elections. And SAS has some of our volunteer opportunities. SAS, if you want to put up a slide, join the Respect Voters Coalition to help pass star voting, find a town where we can put together a winning movement, policy team, ballot language, and campaign. Join us in banning legislators in your state and every state from making it more difficult to use the ballot initiative process. Help draft model policy and ballot language for approval voting ballot initiatives across the country. Help us edit videos, create content. Help our democracy real estate team raise money through the power of social enterprise to fund all of your campaigns for approval voting, star voting, and protecting and strengthening ballot initiatives. Together, we are building a national movement that can support progress in all of our states, finding and creating opportunities for well-run campaigns and movements. Together, we will create something unstoppable. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank each of you for being here in the most exciting moment in the reform community. My name is Nina Taylor, and I serve as the Chief Executive Officer for the Center for Election Science. We're a national, nonpartisan organization focused on election research, education, and advocating in support of approval voting. This year, we focused on the stabilization of the Center for Election Science, building out collaborative research and academic partnerships, connecting our mission to diverse communities, and gathering communities through virtual education and bringing political strategy to the work of the organization. What I hope is that 2025 is a great year of growth, not only for CES, but for our community as a whole. If you've been tracking our progress in Maryland, you will note that we have pre-filed our bill with support from Senator Mike McKay. We're hopeful that in turbulent times to be able to present a truly bipartisan bill to the committee. We're focused on building coalitions and introducing approval voting to large foundations and nonprofits. We've also entered a partnership to catalyze the work of Utah Approves, with a focus on doing our part to bring an approval voting pilot study to the state. In the next few weeks, you will see 2 studies released. One is CES's very first IRB-approved behavioral study to understand voter experience with alternative voting methods. The study's collective scale was 7,000 registered voters nationwide. And the second study analyzes how voting reforms can improve equity in minority communities and when they cannot. There will be an additional educational events in the new year, our speaker series highlighting our luminaries in our field, but also a series focused on how to talk with your legislators about approval voting. In this spring, we look forward to gathering you all in person for a special event and announce our new partners to work alongside us, just as Gallup did this year. There will be opportunities to serve on project-specific advisory committees, and we're hopeful to have a day where we are able to have Hill visits. The work of CES does not center on a single person. Democracy is a team sport. There are staff working diligently to move the needle forward every single day, a board that lends its expertise to take the organization to new heights, and you all, volunteers who volunteer their time, they donate to our cause, and who believe in this work. For that, we thank you. We invite you to connect with us on Discord or on our site at electionscience.org. And thank you to the organizers for today's festivities. We look forward to continuing the discussion, but most importantly, we look forward to continuing our work. Thanks, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to SAS and to all of our panelists. I'm really excited to be part of this bigger coalition and to really have Equal Vote be a part of this bigger coalition. So our organization is dedicated to fighting for true equality in the vote itself. My vote should be just as powerful as yours, no matter who you are, where you are, who you want to vote for, how many candidates are on your side, what party you do or don't affiliate with, and so on. Equality is our first and obviously most fundamental criterion, but there are 5 that we use to evaluate voting methods. So ideally, better voting should be equal. It should be accurate. It should empower honesty from our voters. It should be simple and also expressive enough to really inspire and empower everyone to get the representative outcomes that we all really want. So the Equal Vote Coalition supports a number of better voting reforms, including especially star voting for elections where you want a more nuanced opinion. Star voting uses a 5-star ballot. We also really strongly support approval voting, where you can choose as many candidates as you approve of. And for those ranked ballot fans in the audience, we support ranked robin and more broadly the Condorcet methods in general. So the message here is no matter what type of ballot you prefer, no matter what constraints you might have in your state or in your kind of political calculus, there is better voting. And in order to get it all done, we really need to work together. So just quickly, I want to also have some time to explain what star voting is and how it works. With star voting, you score your candidates from 5 stars best to 0 stars worst. So give your favorite candidate 5 stars, give your last choice 0. You can show your preference order. You can show how much or how little you like your candidates. If you like 2 candidates equally, you can give them the same score. So it's super user-friendly. And then star voting is counted in a 2-step process. It stands for score, then automatic runoff, and that's exactly how it works. So on the back end, we tally all the ballots, find the 2 highest scoring overall. Those are our finalists who advance to an automatic runoff. In that runoff, your 1 person, 1 vote goes to the finalist you prefer. And we get a majority preferred finalist who wins. Candidate with the most votes wins. So again, it's fabulous to be here. Thank you for bringing us all together. And we're looking forward to next 4 years that I think is going to be absolutely transformative for the better voting movement at large. So let's work together and let's get it done.
Hey everyone, my name is Nate Allen. I'm the Executive Director of Utah Approves. We work obviously on approval voting here in Utah. I'm super excited that all of you were able to join today and learn about all the efforts that we're doing across the country. here in Utah right now, we're focused mainly on a legislative path. So we're trying to talk to the legislature and get them to implement approval voting. Right now, the way that we're working on it is allowing cities to opt in to use approval voting across the state. We're making some really exciting progress here that I'd love to share. First off, over the past couple of years, we've developed a really good relationship with the county clerks in the state. So all 29 county clerks actually came out and said that they would have no issues with implementing approval voting across the state, which was a really big win for us as the legislatures really values their opinion as election administrators. Additionally, we've also been working on giving presentations to city councils across the state. So just this year, we've actually had 5 cities write a letter to the legislature saying that they would like to see approval voting offered as an option to cities, which is really exciting for us. That gives us a lot of leverage to go to the legislature during the general session and say, we have the county clerks on board. At least that they're saying it's the best alternative method. We have city councils on board who are already saying that they'd like to give it a shot. And there are a lot more city councils across the state that would be willing to actually opt in or say that they'd be interested if it was already added as an option. So that's really, really exciting for us. Some things that I'd like to share that volunteers can help us with today. Social media is a really big one, just keeping our online presence active. It's something that's hard for our small core group to keep up on. So if anyone's interested in helping with that, we would love that. But additionally, like reaching out to your local city councils is a really big deal. These local city council members love to hear from their constituents more than they like to hear from us who are just trying to push it across the state. So if you live in a city in approval voting, reach out to us, and we have a workshop on our website that you can watch on how to write that email. And then help us schedule a presentation to actually go and talk about approval voting to those city councils to get more cities to opt in. We always need help with fundraising, tabling events, posting flyers, but also please join our community on Discord. We have that link on our website, and I believe our website is going to be posted in the chat here soon. Writing letters to the editor is also really, really beneficial. And then the last thing, if you guys can see my shirt, is just like learning how to talk about approval voting is really, really helpful. So approval voting lets you say yes or no to every voter on the ballot. Thanks.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me. My name is Alan Savage, and I'm the Executive Director at California Approves. We are a general purpose campaign committee in California focused on campaigning for approval voting here in California. We are focused on the local level first, so we're trying to target some cities in California across the political spectrum to run campaigns in, and we would like to pursue both the legislative as well as ballot initiative paths, depending on what's right for that community. Our opportunities for volunteering are pretty similar to what you just heard from Nate Allen. Social media outreach to your city councilors, all of that sort of stuff is exactly what we need to. The best way to stay up to date with immediate volunteer opportunities is to sign up for our newsletter at our website, which is californiaapproves.org. I'll put a link to it in the chat. And I hope to see you all in the future. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jed. So, way back in 2015, 2016, our city, Fargo, North Dakota, recognized issues with voting. The city government formed a task force. I was on the task force. I advocated hard for approval voting after a lot of research. And as those of you who have interacted with government know, task forces are where good ideas are sent to die. And but it didn't die. Unfortunately, I was a bit pluckier than that and decided to found an organization, Reform Fargo or Reform North Dakota, and try to pursue approval voting. So we were the first organization in the country to bring approval voting to local elections or to elections at all, frankly, which is, I think, is a big win for democracy. And I like to think that it's helped to spur a few other people to be in this movement now today. So Looking forward, we are considering going statewide. Repeatedly, our state legislature has tried to destroy the work that we've done. Most notably, 2 years ago, the legislature really tried to remove our ability to use approval voting locally, but we were able to fight that back due to fortunate events and our hard work. And now it's time to go on the offensive. So we're considering approval voting statewide from top to bottom for federal elections all the way down to, well, as high up as we can get, all the way down to local elections, because that's how North Dakota works. We're also considering other things as well, like maybe open primaries would be something that'd be beneficial in North Dakota. We're considering an initiative to reform our legislative assembly. For those of you who don't know, which why would anyone know this? In North Dakota, we have a biennial meeting of our legislators for 90 days. That's it. They're part-time legislators. They're supposed to go to Bismarck in a horse and buggy, not in a car or telecommute. So they weren't expected to spend a lot of time there. But the world has changed, and we need to be able to react quicker in North Dakota, and our legislature just can't do that. We're considering enforcing the issue because they'll never vote to give themselves more work, but we can. We're considering radical things, like maybe one of the houses of our legislature should be selected rather than elected. Maybe we should have sortition. We need to protect the initiative process from interference. Our legislators constantly are referring measures to the ballot that try to mess up the election process and get rid of our right to initiate measures. And we want to protect that and prevent the legislature from doing that in the future. And then there's non-electoral stuff that we're also kicking around. Right to repair is a huge movement across the country, and North Dakota is profoundly affected by John Deere and their insistence on basically owning the equipment that our farmers have. And I think that that would be a great avenue side along with other electoral reform in order to protect and make our state better. Furthermore, we have an ancient law in North Dakota called the Pharmacy Ownership Law. Did you know that in North Dakota, you are required to be a licensed pharmacist to own a pharmacy? You have to own, or to operate one, you have to be a 50% plus one owner of one, which means that big chains like CVS and Walgreens have a horrible foothold here, and they don't have monopolization power. And we're wondering if maybe that should be expanded to contain other things too.
I gotta cut you off, Jed. We gotta keep moving.
And so
I know
forth.
these volunteers really want to get to the breakout rooms.
Yeah, so.
All right, fantastic. And we've got DeMarco Davidson up next.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is DeMarco Davidson. I serve as the Executive Director for Metropolitan Congregations United in St. Louis, Missouri. I apologize if you all hear anything in the background. I am at the Race Forward Conference National Convention, and it has been absolutely amazing. And I'm so excited that people have decided to come here. Unfortunately, one of the reasons why they came here is because of the 10-year anniversary of Mike Brown Jr. being murdered. So it has been a really tough year. I had to have done work with the family, and I actually worked closely with the father of Mike Brown Jr. So Metropolitan Congregations United, a couple things real fast. We organize congregations and clergy. We also organize communities and just organizations within community to work on different policies and community issues, social justice issues, and even policy issues, including we supported approval voting here in St. Louis City. And that's actually how I met some people that's on the call today. And it was always great to have people engaged and involved who lead with their faith and their values, especially when their values are about justice, about equity, and love, and not some of this other stuff that people are utilizing their faith for or claiming they're using faith for. One thing I'm sharing today is about the St. Louis City versus St. Louis County. I did not know this. I'm born and raised here in St. Louis County, which is in an unincorporated area, meaning that we did not have mayors and things like that. But St. Louis City and St. Louis County operate two different ways, two different governing bodies. It's caused all type of confusion, and unfortunately, a lot of it is based off of racism. And even when St. Louis County, we have municipalities here. 50 of the municipalities were created between 1948 and 1952, which was basically the same. 1948 was the year that people could not have racial covenants anymore. So therefore, this is some of the things we're working towards to bridge the gap and bring together St. Louis City, St. Louis County to minimize the pain of the Great Divorce, but also start healing our city so we can actually have better government as well. So I look forward to discussing more with others, but learning from others as well. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Shantae Duncan. I am the manager for Democracy Real Estate, and I want to share a quick slide with you all to kind of walk you through what we are offering through Democracy Real Estate. 1 second here. Okay. So we had a fundraising challenge. We had to determine how we could fund multi-million-dollar statewide campaigns for approval and start voting. The big CVs and the open primaries funders, they were not on board to fund approval voting and start voting campaigns. And the amount of money that was available to us was very small. So we had to determine how to power our own movement, and we found a way. Democracy Real Estate. So what is Democracy Real Estate? Our nonprofit-owned brokerage donates proceeds to nonprofits, including 501c3s, 501c4s, and campaign committees. Our founding partner is the Respect Voters Coalition, and it's formed by successful ballot initiative leaders and reformers. Our brokers and our broker and agents are committed to improving American democracy. So how can your nonprofit receive donations from Democracy Real Estate? You have supporters, you have them use Democracy Real Estate to buy or sell a home or commercial investment property. Your supporter tells us to donate the proceeds to your organization. Democracy Real Estate donates 50% of commissions and referral fees to your organization. And any nonprofit can partner with us. So let me give you a few examples. Example one, John buys or sells a home anywhere in America. Your supporter is John. He tells us that he wants to buy or sell a $500,000 property in Helena, Montana. We refer them to an agent that they like in the market and they close. Your organization will receive about $1,500. Example two is Jane invests in a profitable apartment building in Missouri. She's your supporter and she wants to invest in real estate in Missouri because we have a lucrative market here for rental of properties. We connect them with an investment group which acquires about a $2 million property. Your organization will receive about $25,000. So if you are looking to buy or sell a home or invest in real estate, go to democracyrealestate.org and sign up. We refer you to an agent you like in your market, and 25% of the preset commission will go to Democracy Real Estate. 100% of the profits are donated to democracy reform. And boom, you've made a donation without spending an extra dime. So if you're interested in receiving donations, if you are a nonprofit organization, a 501c4, or a campaign committee, go to democracyrealestate.org/partner. On the bottom of the screen, you will see how to email us, team@democracyrealestate.org. We have our phone number available as well. Thank you.
All right. Love it, love it, love it. I'm going to end the poll in just a minute. So if you haven't taken it yet, make sure you do it now. But I mean, just incredible hearing from everybody. It's just infinitely exciting. I can't overstate it. When I got invited to join the board of directors at the Equal Vote Coalition 3 years ago, one of my big goals was to create a moment like this, where this entire side of the movement got together and showed that we are real, we are cohesive, and we're going to make this happen. Of course, I did not do it alone, and it did not happen overnight, but we're here now, and that's what matters. Americans want change. They don't like the status quo. And that includes the toxic polarization and the vote splitting. With approval voting and the other reforms we just heard about, we have solutions and we have a path, and voters want it. Okay, I'm gonna pull up this final slide that I've got. With that, we have the breakout rooms set up. They are outreach and coalition building, content creation and social media, marketing and communications, tabling and presentations, research, fundraising, and democracy real estate, and then also specifically about the St. Louis City County consolidation. I know we have a handful of members from the St. Louis area here, so super excited about that. When I enable those breakout rooms, everyone will be able to join one and freely switch to any others. You can then turn on your cameras and your microphones. If there are more than 3 or 4 people in a breakout room, please use the raise hand feature in Zoom. If you're on a phone call, you can dial 9 to raise your virtual hand, and then someone else in the room can call on you when it's your turn. Zoom automatically sorts everyone with their hand currently raised by the order in which they raised it. So please follow that order. Please follow that etiquette. Please try to make only 1 or 2 points at a time when you speak, so that others have an opportunity to contribute to the conversation. Arend and I will be rapidly cycling through all of the rooms to see how things are going and take note of who's where. But otherwise, use the breakout rooms as an opportunity to introduce yourself, where you are, what kinds of things you've done before in this space, what you're interested in doing. But let it be a conversation. Have fun. Get excited. Again, what you just watched has been recorded and will be posted to the Respect Voters Coalition YouTube channel. You can also download the chat if you want. That should be available to you. But I'm going to close the poll right now. Let me pull this down. Here we go. Here's my poll and I'm going to open all of the rooms. And so now if you hit the breakout room button on Zoom, you'll be able to go into any breakout room you want. So definitely start that right now. I'm going to hang out here for a second while people are joining, and then I'll start going through them. But yeah, so again, those are outreach and coalition building, content creation and social media, marketing and communications, tabling and presentations, research, fundraising and democracy real estate, and St. Louis City County consolidation. So yeah, see if people are making their ways in, trying to decide which ones you want to go to. Which one do I want to join first? That's a good question. And I will share the results from the poll for just a moment. So people are really excited about approval voting and star voting. Outreach presentations, those were big things people want to work on. I can't wait to look at the short answers y'all gave. Let's see here, behind the scenes infrastructure support, or people want to advocate in universities, collaborating with other organizations. Oh yeah, coalition building, fantastic. Oh, somebody mentioned 3-2-1 voting. That's a fun one. Oh, Tedman. Okay, yes, you're looking at a whole bunch of different voting methods. Gerrymandering is important. Dark money in elections. Building solidarity and enthusiasm. But yeah, working with League of Women Voters, partnering with the Benjamin Franklin Party. Good to have you here, James. I love it. So let's see here. We still got 15 people. Go ahead, pick a breakout room for yourself. I'm gonna start going through the breakout rooms and having some fun and seeing what everybody's doing. Yeah, love it.
Oh.
All right. Wonderful. I'll keep you all on for this last little bit. It's not much, but there it is. Again, this rally is not really over. I'll be sticking around to facilitate more connection, and I'm going to recreate the breakout rooms so that people can go back to the conversations they were having if they'd like. However, this is where I'm going to call it for the official end, and I'm going to stop recording in just a moment. I want to thank everyone again for being here, from the speakers to the audience. The Equal Vote Symposium a couple months ago was a fantastic tee up for us to regather and plant our collective stake in the ground to show the country that we are at a turning point. Again, I'll invite everyone here to our Respect Voters Coalition Slack workspace. I'm going to throw the link in the chat right now. Boom. Yeah, it's the world will never be the same because we're going to make it better, and we are going to ensure our leaders respect voters. Thank you, everyone.